Where gold is the money of kings and queens, silver is that of the ladies and gentlemen. With gold hitting all the news stories, it is worth mentioning that silver has gained about 36% in the last month.
Hi guys, thank you so much for joining me in another video. I did a video earlier on in my channel when I was a total newbie about 2 months ago where I talked about gold. I'll pop a link in the description box down below, and in that video I gave the pros and the cons of holding gold, but I did say that I wasn't going to be holding it, and it was about 2 months ago. Gold was trading about 1,700 back then, and since that video it has gone up 16% to 1,975, guys. Just as a comparison, the S&P is also up about 10% in exactly the same time. Back then I did say I'm not going to invest in gold, and that's still the case now. I won't go into these points again. For me, it's not about whether gold is a good or bad investment, it just doesn't fit with me right now. Maybe in about 10 years time it might be a different story. Though I still think gold does have a place, both in a speculator or a trader's portfolio, and also for investors who have mature income drawing portfolios that balance and protection. So in this video I'm going to do a summary of gold and also of silver, and I'll discuss a few points to consider when investing. It is super sunny and super hot today, and I'm not sure whether the lighting is right or not, but we're just gonna go ahead and record anyway. Another thing, I normally get really annoyed at people coming and knocking at the door, but today I'm waiting for someone to come and knock at the door because my Peloton spin bike is going to be delivered, and the guys are going to come and fit it, and I absolutely cannot wait. I don't know, are you guys interested in seeing the Peloton spin bike? If you want to see it, then let me know and I'll show you, because I've got a little spot downstairs in my basement for it, and absolutely cannot wait for it to just come. And they've said that they're going to come this morning, so I'm waiting for the door knocker to go. So if I disappear for like a few minutes, that's going to be why. But it doesn't matter anyway because this is all pre-recorded. So the gold bugs have been cheering. Gold has now hit its all-time peaks of $1,923 per ounce, and that is surpassing its 2011 highs. It's made a whopping gain of what? 29% this year, guys. Now that is insane in the membrane. That's so sad. So because gold is generally quite a divisive investment, the bulls love the protection of the yellow metal because it offers that protection against any unforeseeable disasters, while the bears don't see it that way because it brings no value to the economy and it's a barbarous relic. Having said that, the bulls are in the ascendant now, and there are of course plenty of things to worry about. So the macro factors have been causing concern for a number of years, and the threat of a deep recession was omnipresent. High valuations in the stock market, inflationary pressures through quantitative easing, and continual low interest rates have kept investors awake for years. So stating the obvious then, why has now been the time that gold has decided to shine? When you think about it and get into the nitty-gritty, a gold rally is probably not a good thing. It is a doomy gloomy asset class which tends to rise when fear, inflation, hoarding, an overstatement of the collapse of the economy and the modern monetary system is in place. So why has the price risen so much? Firstly, gold is priced in dollars, and when the dollar is weak, gold is super strong. Dollar right now is at a 2-year low. So why is the dollar weak? Well, the simple answer is low projected economic growth. This in turn diminishes interest rates and bond yields, which causes a drop in demand as there is less interest in buying US stuff, which makes the dollar cheap. It's all a bit of a negative feedback cycle. Secondly, inflation expectations are rising. So we've talked about that in a few videos already. But printing money and quantitative easing are all inflationary, and so there's been a double whammy. With the interest rates dropping, inflation rising, real yields are actually falling. And think of it like this: if interest rates are falling, that means your saving returns are dropping, and inflation means that the world around you is just getting more expensive, and that sets the perfect stage for gold to come swelling in, which yields nothing at all, remember. As real return on US treasuries drop, gold becomes a natural hedge. So then the question is, should we be actually buying gold then? Well, given what we've already discussed, for the ascent to continue, the real yields need to continue to fall. And that would mean inflation needs to continue to rise, and the world still needs to be in a doomy, gloomy place, with growth expectations being super low. This is called stagflation. I have mentioned this in a video before, but it's where both high inflation, high unemployment, and stagnant demand are in play. There is an interesting fact actually. If you're Chinese, you might want to be buying gold right now anyway. Without going into the politics of it all, the Chinese want to put gold back into the center of the global payment system. They claim the idea that it will become an international currency and it will be a huge challenger to the US dollar status. While no one actually knows how much gold China own, it is the world's biggest gold producer. So now here is obviously the heeding caution. One, stagflation and predicting inflation is notoriously difficult. No one has a crystal ball, and every prediction since the last crisis in 2011 where gold peaked has been proven wrong. Secondly, if gold is hitting this new peak, it just goes to show how frightened investors actually are. So what about silver, guys? Where gold is the money of kings and queens, silver is that of the ladies and gentlemen. With gold hitting all the news stories, it is worth mentioning that silver has gained about 36% in the last month, and that's a 7-year high. I'll see if I can put a chart down here somewhere. The actual pace at which that has happened has been a frenzy, with 15% gains only in the last week. The drivers of silver are pretty much the same as gold. Silver, as seen by its quick rise, is generally seen as a follower to gold, tracking the gold performance, but with a bit of a lag, even though it is seen as more volatile historically. The second consideration is that silver does actually have a purpose, where gold has very little industrial demand. Silver is used in a diverse range of industries, including in the manufacture of solar panels, in 3D printing, and for all you conspiracy theorists out there, in 5G. In fact, half of all metal demand comes from industry. The pandemic, mines have been forced to shut. Production is generally set to drop by around 7%, and this would suggest that there's more to come from silver's price growth. However, I would heed caution if the yellow metal does start falling out of favor. So there you have it. There's my quick update on gold and silver. Let me know what your thoughts are. I know this is going to be a divisive one. Pop your comment down below, hit that like button if you like what you're seeing, and subscribe if you haven't already. So until next time, cheers guys, I'm out, bye.